MIDI has been the technical standard for electronic music for more than 40 years, but most of the time it's way more than I need, and I can just get the same thing by pressing a button on an app. Whenever I make a video where I'm playing a couple of things at once, like this one of me playing the Koala sampler with the Roland J6, or this one of me playing Koala sampler with the Roland J6 and the T8, or this one of me playing Koala with the Circuit Tracks, people always ask the same question: how are you syncing them together? And usually I'm using MIDI to do that. And to be honest, if the answer is almost always no. I find MIDI a pain in the arse. It's not that it's fiddly if you want to play a keyboard and have that trigger a synth or something like that, that's fine. But it's when you start routing things together using software like AUM to connect the MIDI out, a MIDI clock onto a channel, and have you got the right port, and should that be MIDI through, and if so, I just can't be dealing with it. I find it too much and I find it too stressful. So what I normally do is I use my own patented technology, which is called PPAT. Now with PPAT, it's a lot easier. You don't need any connection wires. You don't need to use any third-party software. What you do is just press play at the same time. That's not the right acronym, is it? But that's the picture. But I found something now which is basically PPAT, but it actually works. Actually does the thing that you want it to, or the thing that I want MIDI to do, which is just to sync things up at the same time. Now, I'd seen Ableton Link in the menu for Koala, and I wondered what it was, but basically I thought it has to be for people who use Ableton Live. But it turns out you don't need to use Ableton Live at all. You don't need to use anything other from Ableton. It just works if you've got two things connected to the same Wi-Fi network. And if you've got two things connected to the same Wi-Fi network and they're both using Ableton Link, then the first thing, the first app or the first piece of hardware that connects to Ableton Link, that gets to choose what the BPM is to start with. Now, if something else joins and then starts fiddling about with the BPM, going faster or slower, that's going to change the BPM for everybody. So, of course, something you can do with something like AUM is you can sync up different apps on the same device, like on the same iPad. But because Ableton Link works through Wi-Fi, you can do it with multiple devices that are just on the same Wi-Fi connection. There's apparently no limit to how many devices you can use. So I guess you could get like 100 friends round. But like I'm in my mid-40s, I don't have 100 friends. So it's never going to be an issue for me. I've tried it with like 3 devices here, just putting them on the Wi-Fi network, and it just works like a charm. So yeah, let's have a little look at how it goes. So this is my setup. I've got an old iPad mini here, like an iPad mini 3, I think, and an old iPad 6 here. Now, both of them I like the older versions because they've still got the headphone out, which you don't get on newer versions of iPads, as you know. Both of them are running Ableton Link. Here it is, to be found in Fugue Machine, where I've got it enabled there. And it's here in Koala Sampler as well, Ableton Link. So the sync stop is turned off because I don't want to press stop on the Koala and have this one stop. I want to stop this before I stop that. I want to have that option. So all it's really doing is making sure the two things are in sync. And you can see that it's doing that because if you look down here, you can see that the play button on Fugue Machine is only going to come on when it gets to the end of a bar. Koala's doing the same thing. So the two things are going to be in step, whatever we do. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see how it goes.